We have arguably one of the most anticipated characters coming out in the near future, that being Firefly. In building her out, unlike other DPS characters who want to focus on crit rate and crit damage and having those stats extremely high, Firefly wants her break effect along with her attack stat to be the main focus, as her overall damage benefits scaling off of her attack stat, which in turn helps her break effect damage, which is how Firefly is able to compete with both Acheron and Boot Hill as top damage dealing characters in the game. Firefly has a pretty unique playstyle. With her basic skill, you consume your own HP and deal 200% of your attack to one enemy, while in the process, generate 60% of your max energy and additionally advance your own action forward by 25%. And this results in her ultimate, which you enter a state known as the complete combustion. By entering into the state, Firefly's action is advanced forward by 100% and her basic attack, along with her skill, now become enhanced, along with a 50% weakness break increase and an additional 20% break damage increase on the enemy. Once in the combustion state, your enhanced basic attack will now not only deal damage but heal you, and your enhanced skill, along with healing you, will apply a fire weakness onto the enemy for 2 turns, dealing damage to a single target scaling off of your attack, along with dealing damage to adjacent enemies. Circling back to your HP consumption, Firefly's talent deals with this, as the lower your HP gets, you are granted damage reduction up to a maximum of 40%. If your HP falls below 20% while in the combustion state, the damage reduction will remain maxed. If your energy is lower than 50%, you will automatically get 50% energy, and once your energy maxes out, you remove all debuffs on Firefly. The traces that Firefly has really provide a damage buff, as when you attack an enemy without fire weakness, you still reduce their toughness. And for every 10 of Firefly's attack that surpasses 1800, you boost your break effect by 0.8%. Finally, as something that will really boost Firefly's damage is while in the combustion state, if your break effect is greater than 200 or 360%, then attacking a weakness broken enemy will convert the toughness reduction in one instance of super break damage by 35 or 50%. So as you see, Firefly is going to be a character unlike most other high damage dealing units because of her primary focus is on the attack and break effect stats. So building her, you will need to keep that in mind. For the Lightcone options, more so than the Relics and Ornaments, the options are going to be very tough, as Firefly does not benefit from most of the other Great Destruction Lightcones, as they provide an increase to either crit rate or crit damage, something that I mentioned earlier are stats that don't benefit Firefly as much as other Destruction characters. Instead, you want to focus on Lightcones that boost either attack or break effect stats. Saying that, we need to talk about her signature, as it increases your break effect by 60 to 100%, and when you do break damage on an enemy, you inflict them with the routed debuff, which causes them to receive 24 to 40% more break damage, while also lowering their speed by 20%. The Her to Shop Lightcone can be an option as it provides an attack boost stacking 4 times, and states that whenever you inflict weakness break, you gain a damage increase. Now, whether this damage increase helps Firefly a lot or not is yet to be seen and will need further testing. The last 5-star option I will talk about is Jingly Yu's Lightcone, and the reason for this is simply because you have the ability to gain 3 stacks of Eclipse, as you will consume your own HP, and once you do, you can bypass 12 to 20% of the enemy's defense. Finally, 2 4-star options that I believe will be useful are Indeemable Promise, as it provides 28 to 50% break effect, and Nowhere to Run, increasing attack by 24 and 48%, while also providing healing to help add survivability, so you can have the option of running more supports. For relic sets, we really have competition between 2 sets, that being the Iron Cavalry against the Scourge and the Thief of Shooting Meteor. I'm not including the Watchmaker set, as to get its full potential, your ultimate needs to be used on an ally, which Firefly's does not. For the Cavalry set, which is coming in the 2.3 update, you get a flat 16% break effect with 2 pieces, and for 4 pieces, if your break effect exceeds 150, you will ignore 10% of the enemy's defense, and furthermore, if your break effect goes beyond 250%, your super break will ignore 15% of the enemy's defense. And as many people know by now, the Thief set grants a total of 36% break effect. For the ornament sets, the options are a bit more plentiful, as you can run the new Forge of the Kalpanegi Lantern, receiving a speed boost of 6%, and when you hit an enemy with fire weakness, you get an increase of 40% to your break effect for 1 turn. You can also run the Talia Kingdom of Banditry to get a 16% increase to break effect, and if your speed exceeds 145, you get an additional 20% break effect, or you can run an attack boosting set such as the Space Sealing Station or the Glammoth set.